Okay, so moving on, we wanted to talk about the Alexander Ovechkin Pride comments. So let's go to that question. Ovechkin just gave some quotes about the NHL Pride jerseys. Is this him being homophobic, or is it just doing it to appeal to the Russian government? As a proud ally, the quote was really disappointing to read. So yeah, Alexander Ovechkin yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago, in a Russian interview, gave some quotes, and in it, he talked about Dominik Hasek, and more importantly and more impactfully, he did talk about the NHL's Pride jerseys, some of the players that decided to not wear them, and the NHL as a whole deciding to scrap them. I saw two different quotes of this. First from NHL Breakers, which, yeah, he was recently interviewed, and when asked directly about his thoughts on the NHL stepping in regards to players refusing to wear Pride warm-up jerseys and the eventual banning of the jerseys altogether, he said, "I'm glad the NHL stopped giving into political pressure. The world needs more of this. What else can I say? Well done. It shouldn't be like that everywhere." But the actual quote that I mainly saw that was actually reported by articles and not Instagram accounts was just talking about the players that did not wear the Pride jerseys and the NHL's leadership for not imposing any sanctions, and it's the same quote. So when looking at this, before we really dive into it, I just got to say two things. First off, it was in Russian. There's a chance that this was poorly interpreted by whoever wrote this article, whoever got the original quote. There's a chance. We gotta leave it up to. We can't say that it is definitive until we see the actual article. I haven't seen the actual article and it actually properly translated, or a direct source saying, yeah, that's basically what he said. And second off, me personally, I would wear the Pride jersey. I would show support to that community. I think hockey's for everybody. That is how we should operate in this league. I'm not afraid of a goddamn jersey. I'm an ally of the community. I would wear it. I would happily wear it. I think a lot of them look fantastic, a lot better than other teams' warm-up jerseys or some of the other theme night jerseys. But overall, with this Ovechkin thing, it is kind of disappointing to hear one of the biggest superstars in the entire league come out with a quote like this. I understand that he is straight out of Russia. Vladimir Putin's right-hand guy. I think that his profile picture is still Vladimir Putin. So it's definitely, this isn't like Connor McDavid coming out, a guy from the Western Hemisphere, progressive guy out of nowhere. I can't say I'm too shocked by Ovechkin saying this. I think in relation to the NHL punishing James Reimer, Ivan Provorov, the guys that didn't wear it, I can see where he's coming from on that. You should have some freedom of choice to be able to wear what you wear, especially optional theme night uniforms. I can see where he's coming from. Again, me personally, I would just wear the goddamn jersey because hockey's for everybody. It's a jersey. You're not going to go to hell just because you wear a goddamn jersey. And especially religions nowadays, especially Christianity. I don't know about Russian Orthodox. Christianity is becoming more and more accepting of that community and realizing, oh, that's ridiculous. 1920s, what they were preaching is nonsense. So when looking at the Pride jerseys, again, I don't think Alexander Ovechkin hates LGBTQ members. I don't think that he's that malicious. I don't think that he's saying, yeah, scrap those jerseys, they're horrible. I think more so what he's just saying is hopefully that players should just have the freedom to be able to choose what they wear in regards to these jerseys and shouldn't be punished, shouldn't be suspended multiple games for that. That's what I hope that he's saying, but it is still very disappointing to hear that, considering Ovechkin was one of the guys that didn't participate in his team's Pride night. They didn't wear jerseys, but they taped their sticks for warm-ups, and because it's the Capitals, because it's Ovechkin, you didn't hear about it because the Capitals didn't make it a big deal. They didn't interview Ovechkin. They didn't have reporters interview Ovechkin after and ask questions. The NHL really went hush-hush about Alexander Ovechkin not participating in this, and it's disappointing. It's disappointing that Ovechkin won't do that. I understand the Russian implications. He's Putin's guy. Russia, very anti-LGBTQ and all that stuff. But, yeah, for a guy in the year of 2023 to still be holding some of these beliefs is definitely unfortunate. I'm not going to push my beliefs onto him, but it is disappointing that some players in the NHL, because the thing is with this is 95, 96, 97% of NHL players are happy to wear these jerseys. They understand that hockey is for everybody, that the LGBTQ, that they're a massive fan base within hockey. They're a rapidly growing fan base within hockey, and we should make them feel included in this game that we all love. So most NHL players are are for this. They get up for this game. They love rocking the Pride jerseys because again, some of the Pride jerseys look better than most of the theme night jerseys. They have really done a good job designing those jerseys. So it just stinks that most players love it. Most players love that night, love to show support to that community. But it's just a couple people, the James Reimers, the Ivan Provorovs, Alexander Ovechkins, that feel that they're in their right to express their freedom of speech and not wear those jerseys. And as a result, it seems like all the progress that goes into those nights, just a couple guys deciding not to participate, it feels like all the good work is taken back by it, which is really unfortunate. And I personally really hate to see, like, the Ivan Provorov, everybody else wore the jerseys. It was probably a great night in Philadelphia. People felt welcome. But then once the reports came out, oh, Ivan Provorov, no, he didn't feel like wearing it. And he played that night. I'm sure if I was a member of that community, I would be pretty disappointed in Ivan Provorov. Do I think that they should be nonstop attacked on social media? Of course not. They are expressing their freedoms. Do I think it is a little bit backwards of freedoms to not include a group? I kind of do, but I'm not going to be the one that's on social media absolutely bashing them for it. I don't think that even James Reimer, Provorov, Ovechkin, again, I don't think that they hate that community. I think that they just think because of their religious beliefs, because of the community that they're in, that to promote it maybe in their minds is just not right, which I have a hard time wrapping my head around, but everybody has their own decisions to make. And as a result of this, the NHL overall has decided to get rid of theme night jerseys, which I do think is, from a marketing business standpoint, PR standpoint, I get where they're coming from, that they're just going to scrap them all. I think military, hockey fights cancer, all of it, just to avoid the controversy that comes with the Pride night. Because again, it stinks because so many players do love it. So many players wear it. But the blowback that they got from it was so strong because some of their base is, some of their bases are on far of both sides, which is most sports. But like hockey, I found is like, there's a very, very, very progressive side, a very, very, very conservative side. Then you got me and hopefully most people in the middle. So the Ivan Provorov night was one of the most controversial nights I've ever seen on hockey social media. So they're just scrapping it. They're deciding that it's not, which sucks, that the juice is not worth the squeeze, which is a very disappointing message for the NHL to send. But I can kind of see where they're coming from a controversy standpoint. Overall, I wish that they did stick to it and just said, oh, if players don't want to wear it, it's disappointing, but they're in their rights. But the 95% of players that do want to wear the jerseys and show support to that group, they are more than happy to. The fact that they're just scrapping it as a whole is pretty disappointing. The fact that as a result, they have to scrap Hockey Fights Cancer, scrap Military Appreciation Night. I don't like that. It's just very disappointing, but